Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 10th of February for the Sun and the Ascendant. If you're new to my channel, I'd be honoured if you'd subscribe. This week begins with the power, the sheer power of that amazing full moon in Leo still pouring its energy into our situations. Now, of course, Leo is about the heart, and this week is very much about Valentine's Day for a lot of people, perhaps not for others. But if that is part of your equation, the Leo full moon can certainly see us aspire to the things that bring happiness and joy into our situation. But also, as this week begins, Venus is finding its way in the sign of Aries. And Venus in Aries is more acquisitive. So if there is somebody that you're drawn towards, you may find yourself wanting to take the initiative, particularly as it combines with Chiron, the comet, which is the wounded healer. So if there is a need to have some kind of extra intimacy or warmth in your world, even if you're in an existing relationship, this combination will help. Now, Mercury has entered its shadow phase before the retrograde begins next Monday the 17th. So that's something we have to be aware of, that things can get slower. And of course, Mercury in Pisces is in detriment anyway. But despite this, Mercury actually forges a beautiful angle to the North Node for the first half of this week, also known as the point of destiny. Now, this can be very good for us to pick up the prevailing trends that are going on, whether they're cultural or whether it's in terms of listening to our own instincts. And of course, we also have Uranus in the sign of Taurus, which is making us more conscious about our resources as well. But that brings us to Wednesday and Valentine's Day itself, which does see the moon in the passionate sign of Scorpio. And interestingly, by Friday, there is actually a quarter moon between the moon in Scorpio and the sun in Aquarius. Now, the sun in Aquarius forges a beautiful semi-sextile to both Saturn and Pluto all through this week. So if we can kind of work at being true to ourselves, that comes through the individuality of Aquarius, but also cooperating with others to achieve tangible results, Capricorn, Saturn in particular, that can be a smart thing to do. However, Jupiter and Neptune, the two rulers of Pisces, are also forging an almost angelic combination this week. So if we do want to embrace a more spiritual way of being or raise our consciousness, these two can certainly be of great help. But by Sunday, Mars makes its move after a 6-week journey through the swashbuckling and buccaneering transit of Sagittarius into the sign of Capricorn. Mars is actually exalted in the sign of Capricorn, so this is going to be an exciting transit over the next 6 weeks. But for now, as this week draws to a close, I think it can make us more conscious of the more worldly side of our situations. But if you are wanting to bring some enchantment to your world this week, and you are thinking about someone from your past, with Chiron and Venus connecting, just be conscious that with Mercury in its pre-retrograde phase, that if you do want to revisit something, I think it probably needs to be if there has been growth on both sides, both of you see things differently from what brought the relationship to an end. So if you are looking for some kind of repair or renewal, then just bear that in mind. Your specific forecast, Gemini, suggests that communications, always an area of importance for us all, are going to come particularly under the astral microscope. Perhaps something that you want to achieve with your longer term future that's expansive and a bit more groundbreaking could be meeting with a little bit of resistance from those closest to you. If you are travelling this week with Mercury entering its shadow period, just be conscious that there is the potential for delays. Despite this, Mercury is in a very prominent location and links superbly well with the North Node. If you've got a gut feeling about a business or idea or some way of improving your finances, I really would listen to it. Now, with Valentine's Day this week and Venus joining up with Chiron in the friendliest part of your scope, whether you're involved in a relationship or you go on a date, or it's something that seems a bit fanciful, I do feel there's something to be gained by having some kind of social engagement this week. However, the quarter moon, which occurs on Friday in Scorpio, just reminds you that there may be some kind of everyday matter that you have to attend to, and you can't be too much of a free spirit. But with Mars moving, as this week draws to a close, if there is a relationship in your world that is setting your pulse racing, well, it's likely to get a lot hotter and a lot steamier over the next 6 weeks. It's been a real pleasure being with you. If you'd like to ascend above your zodiac sign and embrace personal astrology and understand what makes you tick beyond just where your sun's located, please see the link beneath this video where you can order your personal character analysis and also your 12-month forecast, and also achieve a 30% discount, or you can choose to have a one-to-one personal consultation with me. But for now, good luck and goodbye.